Hello again. I am posting a video about codependency. And the reason why I'm posting this is because I was looking through some of my old writings and I found this wonderful, like, step by step, I guess, mantra, I would call it, that I created for myself because I personally am the type of person that always needs reaffirmation. So I know that about myself. That's something that I identified about myself when I wanted to change my ways. I needed that reassurance, that self reassurance that also helps with building your self confidence again, loving yourself again. That all plays part into that. So, yeah, I have a lot of writings. And that's something I would recommend too. I bought, as a matter of fact, I have a couple here, and I shall show you. Um, these little notebooks. Oh, it got dark there. These little notebooks I bought were like, I don't know, less than $1. And I have a couple. Like this one has like little things on it. But yeah, I carry them with me all the time. And anytime I have this moment of clarity, I learned the hard way that sometimes those moments of clarity really only exist in that moment. Because I'll say to myself, oh, yeah, when I get home, it's usually when I'm driving, oh, when I get home, I'm gonna, and I completely forget like the exact wording. And sometimes it's for me, not sometimes, but for me, the wording is what really, you know, makes the saying what it is. So anyway, sorry about that. My thing was like timing out on me. That's my way of my reminder, like, shut up, Shell, stay focused. So anyway, codependency doesn't always mean you love someone, which is very important. You could be codependent or have a codependent relationship with somebody and not be in love with them, not like them. It sounds a little bizarre, but it's absolutely true because codependency, you can have a codependency issue with one person, get rid of them, and guess what? If you haven't fixed it within yourself, you're like grabbing onto the next one and riding that wave, that codependency wave on the next person. So, yeah, and it can be through someone can feed into a codependent tendency through work, through friendship. So it doesn't always have to be, the partner that you're with. So I just felt it was necessary to mention that. It can and most likely started cultivating itself in childhood. So when you hear the word codependency and child, right, it kind of goes hand in hand, right? When we're children, we're completely vulnerable and dependent on our caregivers. So, of course, there are codependency issues that evolve from childhood. Codependency issues that you work through are putting yourself before others without feeling selfish. That's pretty much a very good general rule to stick with. And so these are the steps that, and I'm reading, I have a little phone behind this phone, and I'm reading off of that. So I try to keeping it at eye level so it doesn't look like I'm always looking down. So step one, I am overcoming denial that keeps me trapped in doing the same unhelpful, mindless behaviors over and over without asking myself, why am I doing these things? I cannot fix any problems, which I deny. I am accepting things aren't working and accept that I have needs that have to be met. And that was my step one. And guess what? Looking back, I'm like, hell yeah, it's a pretty good step one to take there. So, yeah, you almost defend the person that you no longer want to be. And this is like some real deep thinking. So I'm hoping that I'm not totally confusing people, but it's crazy because you want to change, but you also defend this part of you just out of protection, but you also pick that person apart. So there's a lot going on in your mind in these type of situations. You have to be very mentally strong to really stick it through. Anyway, we're moving on to step two. Step two, I'm educating myself about codependency and what makes healthy relationships healthy. I'm understanding the skills and beliefs that produce healthy relationships, so I have a vision of where I want to go. I'm avoiding disappointment by trying to make changes without a clear vision of where I want to go. I'm educating myself on codependency and healthy relationships as part of my preparation for change. Pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to get too deep on step 2. Step 3, I am becoming familiar with my codependent patterns by observing them until I can see them clearly. I like how I worded that, because you can observe something without clarity to it. So becoming familiar with your patterns by observing them until you can see them clearly. By doing this, I am taking steps towards healthy changes in my relationships. And then I put in parentheses, mindfulness means intentionally and non-judgmentally being open to the present moment with an attitude of curiosity. How have your programmed thoughts and emotions from past pain are interacting to keep you stuck in dysfunction? Very interesting. Yeah, these are things I'm very happy that I wrote down, because I could just keep rereading them. Step 4, I'm feeling the fear and shame and I am doing it anyway. That's a good one. I'm working through the fear that if I take care of myself in a relationship, then I will be rejected and abandoned. The shame that if I say no or ask for what I want, then I'm being selfish. And then in parentheses, I put insight is important, but if you don't change what's happening in the moment, then nothing changes. That's powerful. I'm going to read it again. Insight is important, but if you don't change what's happening in the moment, then nothing happens. And I think I kind of mentioned something actually about that on step 2. No, maybe I remember still in step 2. I'm not going to get into that. But one of those steps I had said, it's one thing to have insight or to recognize something. And it's another thing to have the clarity to know what to do to make the changes that are needed. Go me. Step 5, I am learning how to set my boundaries by sitting in my thoughts and figuring out what or who, past and present, could be feeding my codependency issues. A healthy boundary is a place where I feel safe, a state of being within myself that I fought to find. A boundary might be removing that from my life in total. No gate to that wall. By seeing my boundaries work in keeping me feeling safe, I take power back. I break the cycle of codependency. There's just one more step. So I don't want to totally get into step 5, but yeah, that's a deep understanding. Step 6, progress, not perfection. Changing mindless behaviors is difficult. Therefore, I must be patient and kind to myself. I'm worthy of being loved. I will keep paying attention to my life and my daily needs. I'm setting realistic goals and working towards them every day. And what better way to seal off step 6, right? I think that's such a big thing, is setting realistic goals, because every little progress is big progress. And when you've got a lot of, excuse my French, shit to dig out of, you're in shit for a while. You don't realize that it's getting less and less because it's shit, and who wants to be in shit? So that's a great analogy. Let me drop the S-bomb like 5 times. Okay, so this video is 10 minutes. I have another video I want to make about self-sabotage. I know I spoke about it in one of my other videos, but this codependency one just really had my attention, so I wanted to post that one first. So I will finish this video like I do every video by saying that I love you. My love is genuine because I cultivated it myself. Everything that I share with you here is in hopes to enlighten you, strengthen you. I know that I needed a lot of strength for myself in identifying these type of things and having a deeper thought process, a deeper understanding of it. So I hope that I can give that to people, from people that I've learned these things from, and share that light. And I hope that you are within strength and love and light. I appreciate you watching my video. If you resonate, please comment. If you feel someone can benefit from watching one of my videos, please share it with them. Please subscribe to my channel so you get updated every time I post a video if you find my material relatable. And I appreciate you watching my videos. I'm sending you lots of light and love.